Hello, 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 hello. It is me, that divination witch. I hope you're doing well. I am here with another video. Today I'm going to talk about deity work, deity worship, paganism, and what is a patron deity? What does it mean? Let's get into it. If you don't know who I am, hello, my name's Sarah and I go by That Divination Witch online. I started on TikTok posting readings and I'm branched out here sharing my journey, hints and tips I've learned along the way in a down-to-earth sort of way. If you like that, please hit subscribe. And I've also got a link tree which is below. I've got an Etsy store where you can get readings from me and a Patreon where you can also get readings from me as well as hints and tips on paganism and deity work. So I'd appreciate it if you could check it out if you're interested. Thanks. Patron deity. What does that mean in modern terms? The term is flung about pretty regular if you're in spiritual paganism kind of online communities. Yeah, you will have heard of this term. And this is for beginners, answering some Q&As that I've had about this topic. So let's get into it. What is a patron deity? So a patron deity, a patron god or goddess, is essentially, in a polytheist's world, your main deity. So for me, I would say Hecate is my patron deity. She is my main goddess, my main guide, and she is somebody I worship and work closely with in this lifetime. To be honest, I speak with her nearly every day. She guides me a heck of a lot. She's been the main guide on my path, not the only guide, but the main one, and I call her my patron goddess, although I mainly call her mother, really, because she's like a mother to me. This may confuse some people, but I don't just have one patron goddess. You can have more than one, and I have a few. It can be something you have developed in this lifetime. For me, with Hecate, this is personal, but I have had a couple of lifetimes with her, meaning past lives. But I feel our connection is probably one of the strongest it has been in this lifetime. And therefore the decision of her being my patron mother, it goes both ways, and she is my main goddess, and I have, you know, I've gone down her path in this life. Now, I've got patron deities from past lives that have came forward to me that sometimes I do work with closely. And other times not so much. And maybe I'm breaking the mold here, but patron deities, you do not only have to have just one. They can be from past lives, they can be other things. You know, it's personal. Another patron deity of mine is Zeus. Zeus being the king of the gods, king of the Olympians, from a past life. I won't say more than that, I suppose. He and I sometimes work very, very closely together. He can be in my life for several months at a time, and then he'll back off. And then he comes back in and backs off. That's kind of our relationship. Now, on the other side of the coin, I've got other deities like that, like Lilith, who is, you would think, the total opposite of Zeus. But they seem to be civil. And yeah, she comes in and goes and comes in and goes as needed, per se. There is another goddess who is a patron goddess, although I like to call her matron. Matron is the female term for patron. Although for some reason I just call Hecate mother and not matron. That's just personal. Let's just add some confusion in there. But this other goddess is Frigga, or Frigg, Odin's wife, queen of the Norse gods, queen of the Aesir. She, I would say, if we were going just off past lives, honestly, she is the closest goddess to me. And it wouldn't have been Hecate, it would have been her. because I know I have had several past lives with this lady, worshipping this lady, I mean, as a religion, and she is my ancestral protector. Think of a guardian angel, except it's not an angel, it's a goddess or a god. You may have one, you never know. And this is normally something through your ancestral bloodline. Well, she is mine through my ancestral bloodline as well. So we, to be honest, are very close, even now still. However, I've made a conscious choice in this life, currently that is, to follow Hecate's teachings more than hers. Not because I don't respect and love her, I do very much, but something personal happened, and let's say, and I'll cover this in a video at another point because I think it will be helpful, but I had to make a choice because deity work can get overwhelming, especially when in the modern age we're looking at loads of different pantheons and things. It can get very overwhelming. So she is around, and I do work closely with her sometimes, but again, similar to the other names I've mentioned, she pops in, she pops out, she comes in for certain things and leaves. There are other deities that I just don't want to talk about right now. I just feel like it's not right to, but there are other deities in my life similar. So patrons can be like that. So they could be like me and Hecate in this life right now. I call her my mother. She's my main guide. She saved my life. She is my everything. And then it could be like Frigga, who is also amazing and like a mother to me in a different way. But she cares. She isn't here 24/7 per se. Not to my knowledge anyways, and she kind of pops in and out. So for you watching, if you are a newbie to paganism, that's what it is in a nutshell in modern times. Now, it comes from Patron, it comes from ancient times, especially in Hellenic times, and Roman. I'm going into Roman as well, but that kind of time period, you would have patron gods of certain places and cities and families. So Athens, the most famous one, I suppose, you have Athena as a patron goddess. Athens is named after Athena. But you also had Poseidon as a patron god to Athens. But you also had Hecate sometimes. And they still respected all the other gods, of course, because it's a polytheist religion. But worship in Athens might have been more Athena-centered, you know. Same with other places. You had, the word cult comes from Hellenic times, where gods had cult followings. Certain groups worshipped gods in certain ways, different to other people. So there's some common themes, but not everyone followed the common themes. So Hellenic times, everyone worshipped Zeus to an extent because he is the chief, the king of the gods. Everyone paid respect to Hestia because she is the goddess of the home and the hearth. She got a portion of everyone's offerings. So there was always, say, those two common themes. But say in Athens, they might worship Athena more. And in Sparta, they might worship Ares more. Or wherever, whoever. You catch the drift. And that's where it comes from, really. But it wasn't limited to the Greeks or the Romans or whatever. It was that way and still is throughout history. I mean, I know she isn't a deity, but I'm going to say something a little controversial. But there's some closed practices, for example, which are closed and you shouldn't practice unless you're part of it, right? But I think of Santa Muerte, she just popped into my head. Santa Muerte, the saint of death, found in several closed practices in South America, predominantly. Moved into the USA, yeah, but it's around that area of the world. Now, if we put it in similar terms, she could be like a patron, you know, like a patron saint in Catholicism as well. You know, she is a patron saint, Santa Muerte, Saint Death. You know, you have patron saints in Catholicism like Saint Anthony, or I don't know, Saint David. I can't think. Well, yeah, Saint David, he's the patron saint of Wales. Saint George, Saint Patrick, you know. Saint David is Wales, isn't he? I'm sure he is, yes. Anyways, why am I whispering? What I'm getting at is that deity work, or paganism, polytheism, whatever you want to label yourself, it can be complex. I think we overcomplicate things as human beings. Your relationship with your deities, with your spirits, is personal. It's between you and them. And if you want to put a label on it, you can, sure. And don't feel like you have to conform to any sort of rules, because there is no rules. There isn't, not really. It's your relationship with them. And yeah, you can have more than one patron. It doesn't matter. It's personal. And that is really what it means. So I hope that has helped somebody out there, because I remember way back when Hecate first reached out and I was learning about this, I thought, I got confused and thought, well, hold up. Am I only allowed one? But I'm so confused because I have all these different beings interested in me now, especially from past lives and ancestry, but I can only have one. I feel like a lot of it comes from Abrahamic religion conditioning of monotheism, where you're only allowed to have one. You don't have to just have one. No, definitely no. It's personal to you and them. So let me know what you think. What's your opinion on this? Have you got more than one patron deity? Let me know in the comments below. I'm interested. And until next time, stay safe and stay witchy.